Hey everyone, welcome to Module 1.4, Finding the Best Career for You. In the previous module, 1.3, a number of organizations were identified that work in or in close association with the water and climate. In this module, we will delve a bit deeper and go through different character paths options as well as possible entry points into different water and climate work areas. In this module, we will first define the difference between a job and a career, do a visualization exercise, look at different career types as well as different job categories. Let's start with the difference between a job and a career. What is the difference between a job and a career? A job is usually seen as a more short-term oriented and tends to focus purely on earning money. On the other hand, a career is a series of related employment in the same fields or fields that are related and which offers job progression and accumulation of experiences, which tend to conduce to a higher salary and living standard. So the question is your work experience and education helping you to achieve your long-term objective? Or are you just jumping from a job to another without any concrete plan? So let's do a quick visualization exercise. This visualization exercise was actually adapted from Google Careers. So let's start. We understand that you might be or might have the urge to dive deep into job hunting. But before you do that, we advise that you complete an important but often overlooked preliminary step. We would like to call it Focus on You step. So before you start sending off those perfectly curated cover letters, take some time and ask yourself a few of these questions. What is something that you learned that made everything that came after much easier? Take some time to think about that. Have your achievements come as a result of solitary effort or teamwork? What do you enjoy more, solving problems or pushing discussions forward? What was the most rewarding activity or project or job you've ever had and why? Describe the best team you've ever worked with and what made that experience stand out. And just for fun, what lifestyle or location would make you happy? Do you prefer the city or do you prefer somewhere out in the country? So simply just look at some of these questions and it could help guide you in terms of the direction of your career. So there are various types of career paths in water and climate, just like any other sector. But one must first decide whether to look for a job in government, civil society, the private sector, or even starting your own initiative. So we'll delve into the different career types now. We have broken it down into these 5 parts, but of course it is not limited to just these options. So we have the civil servant, non-governmental, so this is like civil society, the entrepreneur, private sector, research and academia. So let's go into the civil servant or the public sector worker. A civil servant is a person employed in the public sector by the government department or an agency in the public sector. They usually work for central government or state government, and it is not usually a political party. The pros of this working in the sector is that you work directly with policymakers and decision makers. However, a con of this field is that usually work is limited by the funds and you usually lack resources, and it sometimes takes very long for work to move forward. Then we have civil society. So this is usually an NGO, and it refers to an organization that operates independently from any government. So even though they might receive funding from the government, they still operate with oversight or representation from the government. The NGO employees are usually united under mutual goals and beliefs, and these organizations often operate with a mix of core employees and a network of volunteers. The pro of working in this sector is that there's usually genuine trust from the stakeholders. They do on-the-ground projects and implement a number of work, and they usually work with a diverse type of people and projects. However, one of the cons is that they're usually volatile on security and of funding. Now we move on to the entrepreneur. This is a person who creates a new business, creating a new idea, but you have to understand they also bear a lot of risk while enjoying most of the rewards. The process of setting up a business is known as entrepreneurship, and the entrepreneur is commonly seen as an innovator who has a source of new ideas, goods, services, and business or procedures. Entrepreneurs play a key role in an economy, using skills and initiative necessary to participate in societal needs and bringing new ideas to the market. The pros of this is that you can build your own dream. There's a lot of flexibility. However, the cons are that all the financial risk lays on this person, and it could come into a very competitive or saturated market. Now the private sector. The private sector employs workers through individual business owners, corporations, or other non-governmental agencies, and workers are paid with part of the company's profits. The pros of working in this sector is that it has more flexible salary ranges and salary usually increases. The work hours may be flexible, there are benefit packages, and there's a wide range of opportunities to choose from. However, the market here is very competitive. You could possibly have very long hours and a very demanding environment. Then we have the researcher or academia. A researcher is somebody who performs research independently as a principal investigator or search for knowledge in general through any systematic investigation to identify findings and establish facts. Researchers can work in academia, industry, government, or private institution. And usually a researcher's path is quite exciting. So exactly, pro is it's exciting and a meaningful career, potential prestige and impact. However, it comes with possibly a very low wage compensation. It's challenging and a very competitive process for securing funds for projects. Now we'll go into the different job categories. So we previously spoke of career paths. Now we'll go into the different types of job categories. So this simply means the level of experience where you can apply for a job. We have internships, which are usually either very low paid or not paid at all and very short term. We have fellowships and professional training programs, which are usually paid, but they're also short term and you do not guarantee a full-time job in these companies where you participate. Then we have entry-level jobs with about 0 to 3 years experience that you can apply for. The mid-level range jobs, this usually asks for 3 to 9 years experience. Then we have senior level jobs, which are about 10 plus years experience. So these are very high level directors, CEOs sites. And then we also have consultancy. So these are independent consultants who do their own work. And yes, and this is the end of this module. I hope this was useful for you and thank you for listening.